Preet sent an email yesterday talking about the bond yield rate, and I'm really excited to have him on and have him talk about the bond yield rate and where it's going and possibly where we're heading for interest rates this summer. Hey, what's up, Edmonton? I'm Neil Thompson with Maxwell Polaris, and it is my privilege to have my friend Preet Singh, who's a mortgage specialist with the Vine Group, here to talk about interest rates.
How the lenders basically price their fixed mortgage rates is they normally look at a 5-year Government of Canada bond yield, and they will add on 100 to 150 basis points, roughly in that range, and then they will come up with, let's say, their fixed rate number. So as of today, let's take an example. If the bond yield is somewhere at 3, then adding on 150 or 100 basis points, it will lead to 4.50. So right now, that's the thought that it will come to. But right now, the interest rates are a little bit over 5 right now. Bond yield, again, this week has dropped. It has dropped significantly, like 57 points in the last five-day window right now. And it is considered as one of the turning point. And there's a lot of conversation going on right now that it may lead to a little bit better fixed rates in the coming spring or summer this year. And at the same time, this will also basically be connected with the prime lending rate or Canada prime rate, and that will also be, there could be some potential changes. Why this is happening, I will elaborate a little bit more. Because of Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, that collapsed in US, and that has led to basically bank runs on other institutions also in US are also basically struggling right now. As you already know, our banking system is very stronger than US banking system, but our markets are linked. The New York Stock Exchange and Toronto Stock Exchange and everything. So that's the reason why this whole conversation has started. The bond yields basically dictate the fixed mortgage rates. They are directly linked to each other. And the yields, as soon as the yields go up, the mortgage rates will go up. As soon as the yields will go down, the mortgage rates will go down. So this also ties down to, as I said earlier, to your variable rate, not directly, but indirectly. The variable rate is basically calculated on basis of the overnight lending rate, which is basically short-term borrowing from Government of Canada. But because inflation numbers are tied in and other factors are tied in, so there's a huge conversation going on since day before yesterday that Bank of Canada will be forced to cut down their prime lending rate by 0.25% this April 12th, and further in spring and summer. So by August, it's thought that it will be coming down by 0.5%. So that's the biggest thing I would share right now.
Yeah. That's really exciting for people who are looking to either refinance their property or renew their mortgage, whether they're considering a fixed term mortgage or a variable term mortgage. So the Bank of Canada had a 425 basis point rate hike over the past 12 months. And on, March 8th, the Bank of Canada paused the rate hikes. The U.S. Federal Reserve increased their rates again by, 0.25 or 0.5 basis points.
And that's the same thing. Like everybody was talking that even about US, that the rates will go up, they will go up, and they were signaling, as you said, BOC, basically Bank of Canada, paused it, but US were signaling that they will bring it up more. But now suddenly this whole, let's say, SVB collapse happened, and it has totally changed the whole scenario. But again, what I would like to point on this in this video or this message is that drop in yields or bond yields is a temporary thing. They may reverse any day, any time. There's nothing set in stone. The lenders will look at, basically, they have to reprice their books. The lenders will have to look at consistency in drop in yields, and then only somebody will blink and the other banks will follow. I hope I make it clear, right? So
that makes sense.
That's the
So it's important to note that the Bank of Canada's decision on whether or not to change its prime lending rate is influenced by many other factors, including inflation, economic growth, and employment. Employment growth has been relatively strong in Canada. I know the feds have increased the interest rates because they wanted to put a stop on inflation. So we were hovering around 6.2%, and the Fed's goal is 2% inflation. So
Yeah.
interest rate hikes have been a result of that to call inflation. Now that inflation is starting to become under control, maybe the feds may consider dropping the rates in step with the bond yield rate.
That's what I totally agree with your point. That's what should happen, but that will be counterproductive to the last year's rate increases what the government of Canada or Bank of Canada has done, because if as soon as they will pump in stimulus money into the market, let's say with all this debacles happening in US, which I don't feel that it will happen in Canada, but it will have a ripple effect in Canada.
Yeah, of course.
If the government will pump in the stimulus money as it did in COVID times, it is a counterproductive measure. It will definitely not help them what they were trying to achieve in the last 1 year by raising the interest rates, right? So
Okay.
what I think is they will wait and watch, and then they will take a step. This pause, the March 8th pause, was a wait and watch policy. Like it was telling what their mood was, right? So what
Okay.
their appetite is. Yeah, right. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see how this spring and summer pans out across North America in the banking sector, right? So
I've
definitely.
got my fingers crossed, Pre. You got me excited when the bond yield rate dropped, because I'm a variable guy, right? I like variable
Me
mortgages.
too.
Yeah, because it gives a lot of flexibility for the owner. One thing
Hmm.
is that they may avoid major payout penalties. Also, if you have a
Absolutely.
rental property, it's easier to liquidate a property with smaller payout penalties. So a lot of people need to consider when they're buying or selling their home, what investment or what loan vehicle works best for them. And obviously, Preet, you're the expert to be able to consult my clients. I send many of my clients to you because I know they're
Thank you,
going to get
Neil.
sound advice. If anybody's interested in fixed versus variable, please comment in the comment section. And as always, hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to hear more great conversations about real estate in the Edmonton and area market, I'd love for you to follow me and like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Preet. I appreciate this.
Thank you,
Thank you
Neil.
again.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, see you, my
Yeah.
friend. Bye.